Hello. I hope you like my shrimp nails. They were super cute and pink, and then I was cleaning stuff at work today and they got disgusting looking. So that's kind of sad. This is my pocket sketchbook tour. Welcome. I haven't really recorded sketchbook videos in a while, so I feel a little rusty. I say that in like every video though, so you know. This sketchbook, I think it's a Pentalic pocket sketchbook. I bought a 3-pack. I really, really like these sketchbooks. I kind of wish my current pocket sketchbook was one. I think I'm going to buy more of these in the future. They are the perfect size. They literally fit in my back pocket. They also like fit really well in my little purse. And I don't know, with my pocket sketchbooks, I used to use them a lot more than I do now. I'm trying to get back into those habits. My pocket sketchbooks, I I have like some rules I made to like make myself use them more. I can only use them out of the house. So I don't bring my main sketchbook really out of the house unless I mean to work on it. Um, so these can only be used out of the house, not at home. And the stickers on them have to come from places that I've taken it. So I decorate it over time. So this is a sticker that my friend Andy Flabbermouse did. This was one from my friend Miranda Mushrooms. I bought these at markets that I took this to. This was at the Open Hardware Summit in New York last year. I got this at the Fernbank Museum, Open Hardware Summit, Museum of the Moving Image. This is from like a flight that I took. I can't remember where this one came from. I guess a hair salon. My girlfriend is a hairstylist, so. Anyways, let's get into it. But first, let me make sure there's no personal information and I'm not doxing myself. Yeah, it looks like I'm not doxing myself. Okay, cool. So, yeah, at the start of every sketchbook, I draw myself as like this little cyclops. I started this on February 20th, 2023, finished it in November. Usually I'm a lot faster with my pocket sketchbooks, but I kind of hit a lull over last summer. This is at the Georgia Aquarium. I have had membership passes in the last year or so, so I can go whenever, basically, and it's really great because I could just go on a weekday when it's empty and do some life drawing. So, yeah. Lots of scribbly little drawings. It's really challenging because the animals obviously don't like to sit very still, so you kind of have to like work fast. I'm also trying really hard to keep this in center while holding it. This is my friends from Gainesville, Florida. They came up to visit, and we went because it was like one of my friends' birthdays. It was a really good time. And yeah, so I drew the same thing but like further away with like other people sitting in front of me. I used to take notes for class in this too. So these were in my, like, from guest lectures in my comics classes in college. I'm out of college now, which is crazy to say. Thumbnails for comics in class, like in class assignments. Just kind of like ranting. Yeah, so this was like me writing out a script for a comic about like body dysmorphia and body image in general. We had like a phase in one of my classes where we all got really into Ice Age, and it was really, really funny. Like, somebody ended up buying this really ugly Scrap plushie and bringing it too. And I drew this like old intro for like Family Guy that they aired on Fox. It was like a bumper, but it was Sid saying the Family Guy lyrics. I don't know. Anyways, this when I was watching my friend play Portal. So I drew her because she was sitting very, very still because she was very focused. This is a restaurant. Oh my gosh, I keep like moving it out of the frame. I'm so sorry. Yeah, same friend at a restaurant. This was this was right before. I had arranged a guest lecture at my school with Radia Rahman, Knives Meow, who's one of my favorite illustrators. She's so awesome, and I was so excited that she spoke with our class. It was super cute, and we were in one of her vlogs. So these are notes that I took during Radia's lecture, where she kind of talked about like, think about branding as like a pot for soup, and like, you know, you're putting all the ingredients in to make it really good. I haven't looked at these in a while. Think about like what's, you know, unique to you versus what's trendy. You know, if you stick to the trends, you're not going to stand out. It was a really good talk. Yeah. I felt like I was asking too many questions, but also, I don't know. I really like how she does things, and I feel like she's been doing it really well for a while. This is really cute. I forgot I drew this. My girlfriend and I went on a date. I'd had a really rough couple of weeks, so we went to this like riverfront coffee shop and just hung out in the sun for a while. Yeah, this is that same day, so I wrote Passion Pit lyrics. It's not my fault, I'm happy. This is when I went to go get TSA pre-check, and I started drawing, and then they called my name, so I had to get up. I can't remember if I drew this or my friend drew this. I think I drew this. It's Toad from Mario. My friend Al drew this. I think Zoe drew this. I think I drew this. We were at a pizza place. I remember that. I didn't draw this. Dr. Sung from Twerp drew this in my sketchbook for me. We had VIP last year, and I was like, hey, like, can you draw in my sketchbook as my VIP question? And this is what he drew. Yeah, so very, very, very ugly drawing of my friend's cat. Like, it started really ugly, so then I kind of pushed the ugliness, and I despise this. Yeah, so this is the start of when I did a lot of my favorite drawings in here, and just kind of favorite life drawing in general. Thea and I went to New York for the Open Hardware Summit last spring, and I had never been to New York, and we'd never traveled for work before, so it was really, really exciting for me. And I was so excited to like to draw all this fun stuff. So this is when we were in the Atlanta airport. These are people at our gate. This was on our flight, so I just drew what I saw. This is our first day, just kind of doodling. I think we were in like the back of an Uber. Um, and I drew some ice cream we went and got. It was so good. I had Vietnamese coffee ice cream with Biscoff cookies in it, and I think it's still the best ice cream I've ever had. This was the first day of the summit. It was at the New York University, NYU? Yes, New York University. School of Law, which was kind of crazy. So I drew like this big grandfather clock. And then I was kind of like insecure at first because like a lot of the people there were like hardware or like software engineers. And I was like, I'm a comics student. Like I was still a junior in college. I was like, I make comics. Somebody that we met had engineered a helmet that blows bubbles when you walk. So I drew that. One of our friends had this like juice that looked like vampire blood, so I drew that. I drew this later from an image, but we took the bridge over to Brooklyn for the after party at like this really cool hackerspace. I think it's like one of the coolest things I've ever done. Just like, I don't know, like when I think about that night, I'm like, whoa, like I went to a hacker party in Brooklyn. That's pretty cool. Yeah, this was in Washington Park. Is that what the park is called? I hate to say that I was like, oh my god, it's the park that they always go to in Broad City, but that was what I thought of. So yeah, I drew that in the park really quick like that. You know where this is. Oh man, I sound so stupid right now. And I put some Matt and Kim lyrics next to it because Matt and Kim are from New York, and the whole time we were there, I was like, whoa, they made the place for Matt and Kim songs real. This is a collaboration between me and Thea. It's very beautiful. She drew the Sonic. This was like probably like one of the highlights of the trip for me. I cried. I actually you can see this. No, this isn't a Patreon vlog, but if you subscribe to my Patreon, you can see my whole video about this. We went to the Museum of the Moving Image, and I got to see a bunch of Leica puppets in person. And Paranorman is like probably my favorite movie, and it's so sentimental to me for so many reasons. And I cried when I saw Norman and Courtney in person. They were so little and they were just so perfect, and I sat there and I drew them, and I was like crying while I drew them, and there were like kids like running around behind me because it was a children's exhibit, but I didn't care. So yeah, I drew these from life, which is crazy. I also drew Mr. Wusspuss the cat and Kubo, and then I drew this Coraline. I don't know, I kind of don't like how this looks, but they had Coraline's kitchen set, which was crazy. I drew Thea's Boba. Drew this also at that boba place. Um, yeah, so this is a little off topic, but I got to have dinner with two like longtime internet friends, and it was just so amazing because we've known each other for like a decade, and I finally got to see them in person for the first time. And we were talking about like a fan fiction they had written, and that was how I had met them. And they were trying to explain it to Thea, who was not familiar with the fan fiction. So two boys in the woods, one's gay, one's uncomfortably bi. There's a sister, there's a bitch, there's a mystery in which someone becomes tangled. Horrors, someone died. It solved the problem. That was my friend Sarah's summary, and it was really really great. People in the airport at LaGuardia. Um, yeah, this was actually in our Uber on our way to the airport, and I wrote more Matt and Kim lyrics. These were stickers I wanted to make. Silly Strader I did make. I wanted to make one with Snoopy that says his ass is sleeping, but I did not make it. Oh, this is a really scary Miss Piggy that I tried to draw from a photo, but my marker started bleeding everywhere, and it's very scary. And then I drew myself as a Muppet also on the flight home because I bought these pants at Big Bud Press that are pink. I think my professor drew this. I think she was testing a marker. My girlfriend and I went with one of our friends to a cafe. So I drew their food. This was at the Georgia Ren Fair last year. But then it started raining, so you can see like where it splattered, like ruined my pen. Yeah, and then it really started raining, so I was like drawing people running around in the rain. I don't think I drew anything at all at Ren Fair this year. It was too hot. Yeah, I drew the back of my friend's hair, back of her head. She had a really pretty braid and some little horns. And then we went to a bookstore, coffee shop, I believe. I think that's where we went. I barely remember this. This was so long ago now. My girlfriend and I went, and they had a stamp, so you could like stamp your books that you bought in the store, but I stamped my sketchbook. Back at the Georgia Aquarium. One of my favorite places to draw. I draw a lot there. I remember drawing this turtle. I think about this drawing I did of him every time I see him now. It's a river cooter. That's what they're called. They're called river cooters. More aquarium. I like this penguin. I've done some really good penguin drawings in the past. I'm kind of surprised because usually that exhibit is so crowded. Beluga whale. Not crocodile, alligator. This is the albino alligator, and she is very, very pretty. This was in Florida. My girlfriend and I went to Miami to go visit family, and we went to SuperCon, and one of my friends was in the artist alley, and they were like, hey, I heard you like Sunny Angels, and they gave me some, and I was so excited. And then, yeah, so my stepdad's friends had been running a cosplay drag show at SuperCon that was like after hours, and so my mom and I went with him, and we were watching, so I did some drawing from life while they were doing the drag show, and it was really fun. So this is a Loki drag, and this is a rose quartz look. And then I think this was Poison Ivy, and this is Captain Hook. I loved the Captain Hook Drag King. It was a great performance. It was so much fun. He danced to TikTok. This was at Kinokuniya. I was testing pens. We were at a restaurant. I didn't know what to draw, so I opened Instagram. I saw this picture of Carly Rae Jepsen looking really pretty, so I drew that. My girlfriend and I went on a date to a new coffee shop we hadn't been to, and then these really fun vintage cups, so I drew that. And then, yeah, trying not to cry listening to fucking Baker Street in a coffee shop because it was my dog's favorite song. My dog, like one of my childhood dogs, he had just passed away, like a week before this. And my dad and I would always play Baker Street for him, like that sax song. I don't know why, it was just like an inside joke, but that song came on in that coffee shop and it felt like a weird omen in a way, and it made me very emotional. And I felt so stupid for getting emotional about that song, but yeah. This was like an entertainment center they had at the coffee shop that I drew. This was my first day of school. This was last August. Yeah. Notes for class about Mike Mignola. He's the creator of Hellboy. I met a friend for breakfast at Waffle House, so I drew her Waffle House coffee. More notes. This one's about Wally Wood. This was at the Spider-Verse Symphony. This drawing is really ugly because I drew it in the dark. I drew this while they were like warming up. But my friends and I went to the Spider-Verse orchestra symphony concert thing. It was Dragon Con weekend last year, and it was so amazing. And my friend surprised us, and she'd gotten like front row dead center tickets, and it was so awesome. We had a really great time. It was so good. It was so good. I bought a $40 t-shirt, and I'm still kind of considering getting like a Spider-Verse-ish inspired tattoo one day because of just how awesome that was. Rambling to myself, I ended up making the goal to finish this sketchbook in LA because I had like this much left and I hadn't really used it in a couple months. So, I drew this when I went with Thea to one of her piercing appointments. I was waiting in the lobby at Colo. And then this was cosplay figure drawing, which was an event that I used to run with my school's illustration club, where we would get cosplayers to model. And it was really fun, but it was really hard to keep up with. So I don't know if they're going to keep doing it in the future, but I had fun running it. So Al did her Sailor Skeletor cosplay. This is the High Museum. It's a drawing of Al. Yeah. I like going to the High Museum to draw, but sometimes it's just so crowded it stresses me out, and then I feel like I'm not doing good art because I'm worried about being in the way or I feel rushed. So yeah, this is officially now like when we were in LA. I am in Los Angeles for Hackaday SuperCon, and it is November 3rd, 2023. So yeah, this is one of our friends' cool boots. I drew that while I was sitting on the ground at like a after party, or it was like a pre-party because it was the night before the event. It was a kickoff. So yeah, this is the first day. Mostly just drawing people standing around, just kind of scribbling to keep myself busy and not look at my phone so much. I drew this during the keynote speaker. This is kind of a fun composition. I drew some traffic cones, and then somebody gave me a pin that was really cool. It like lights up and stuff. Sometimes you make art and sometimes you make rent, and it's like, damn, dude, that's so true. I think this is the back of our friend Steven's head, maybe? So yeah, I wrote, stop staring at Instagram and be more productive. And then I drew my badge. The badges at Hackaday were really cool. Like, you know, it's your convention badge, but they had like these little screens and you could like program them to like display cool shit. They had like joysticks and buttons, and it was so neat. So Thea tricked mine out, so it played a little gif of Garfield dancing for me, and it was so cute. These are doodles, I think, in the back of an Uber. I wrote, now I don't hate California after all, which is Carly Rae Jepsen lyrics, of course. This is from, I can't tell what this is. I think maybe a coffee shop. I think it's boba. I think I bought Thea some boba because this is Yum Yum. I think it says Yum Yum. Yeah, there's a receipt. And then somebody that we had met that was very, very friendly, and I drew him. This is crazy that this is in here. This I wrote in the airport. This was me writing my senior thesis comic. Like, I had this idea in my head when we were in the airport just about like my senior thesis and like this project I wanted to make that was about technology and magic and my career with Winter Bloom and like all this fun stuff. I was just so inspired after spending a weekend with like all these people that I've met through my job that I sat down in the airport and I wrote this. And then I made it a PCB comic that lights up, and it's crazy and awesome, and it's probably the coolest thing I've ever made. And I got to make it with one of my best friends, so that's extra cool. But yeah, it's crazy that I just wrote this in this sketchbook. Like, this is where it started. This is in LAX. I was very tired. During this trip, I had gone to see, not only was I at the conference, like all day, every day, but the night before, I believe, we left. No, it was the second night. I went to go see one of my favorite bands do a DIY set at a record store, and I'm on the East Coast, and they didn't come on till 10 o'clock. And so basically, I stayed out until like almost 4 or 5 in the morning my time, and I was so tired. And it really didn't, I dragged the rest of that trip, but it was worth it. So yeah, this is when we were leaving. So I said goodbye, Pocket Sketchbook, ATL, New York, Miami, and Los Angeles. Those are the places that this little book went with me. And yeah, I don't think there's anything back here. I ripped this off of a gas pump, because I live in a very conservative area. Yeah, it looks like it's just business cards back here and a receipt, probably from LA. Yeah, that is my little pocket sketchbook. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you had fun hearing about my adventures. I really have fallen out of the habit of pocket sketchbook keeping. This was the one that I followed it up with, but I had a really hard time using it because it's just so much bigger. This isn't pocket sized like this one is, um, which is a bummer because this one's really nice. I bought it at a market. It's a Moleskine. It was embossed by a local artist. Very cute, but yeah, I couldn't keep up with it. So if you want to see what is in this one, you can hop on my Patreon. I'm gonna post a video there. It's probably already up by the time you're watching this. Yeah, little secret pocket sketchbook tour if you want to check that out for $1 a month on my Patreon. I'm starting to lose my voice. I'm kind of hungry, so I'm gonna go. But thank you for tuning in and listening to me ramble. Hope you enjoyed. Stick around if you want. I'm gonna post some more videos soon. All right, goodbye.